Hi, this is Brittany. Welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of how I became a holistic esthetician. Where we left off is I became a new A-team member, as they called it at Dry Bar. Basically what I did is I went into Sephora's and I helped bring awareness to the Dry Bar brand, and we would do demos with the products and the hot tools to show the customers how they worked, what they did, a little bit about the ingredients, and then obviously try and sell some product. So I did that on the weekends, sometimes during the week, and I really loved it. I learned so much about product knowledge and just building rapport with the customers. I just loved being in the mix with the customers and showing them tips and tricks. I love teaching and showing them how they can use their tools at home if they have something similar. Tricks with dry shampoo, I love doing that. And then later my role evolved into the shop educator. So because I had all that product knowledge and Dry Bar knowledge, I became the shop educator. I would help the new hires and teach them how to do the blowouts, and then teach them all about the products and how they could talk to the clients about the product and tell them how they're using it and what it's actually doing. And I did that for I think about 3 years, and I really loved it. But then it came time for me to move, and I became a stay-at-home mom. I was pregnant and I had my baby, and I also moved. I moved to Chicago. My husband was in a residency program in Chicago, so we had to move. We were in a little suburb just outside of Chicago, and that's where I really found my spirituality again. I feel like I had time for myself. Even though I was a stay-at-home mom, I feel like in the mornings or during nap time or in the evening is when I really connected with myself, and I really am so grateful for that time. I was pulling out my tarot cards again, or I was doing moon circles, full moon, new moon circles via Zoom. I was also vegan at the time, so I was just really connected to my health and my body, and just very conscious about everything that I was putting in it. And I think it just really raised my vibration overall, and it just really helped me to be able to connect with myself. And fast forward a few years later, 2021, we moved back to Arizona, and we stayed with my mom for a little bit while we saved to get a home, and then I got pregnant again, and now this is my second daughter. And I think in 2021 we finally got our home and we got settled, and then things kind of just really took a turn. My younger sister unexpectedly started changing, and she started being different, personality changes. And at first the changes were so minute that it could be disregarded as depression or mood or anger or something very simple, but eventually these changes just got worse, and she was no longer performing well at her job. She was a flight attendant at American Airlines. And eventually, after about 1.5 years of diagnosis and going to multiple doctors to trying to figure out what was wrong with her, she ended up being diagnosed with the same disease that our dad had passed away of when I was a senior in high school and she was a freshman in high school. This disease is called ALSP, adult leukoencephalopathy with axonal spheroids and pigmented glia. It is a big term, but basically it is a genetic brain disorder that affects the brain. It can affect your body. It affects patients differently, so it can be misdiagnosed. It can give you symptoms of early onset dementia, or it can give you symptoms of multiple sclerosis. So it can be misdiagnosed heavily unless you have a genetic test, and that is what she did. So being hit with this heavy news and just being a mom of another baby, having a kindergartner, a newborn, and now my sister who no longer can work. She is 29 years old. She is cognitively not there anymore, and it just will begin the decline for her. So I became her caregiver for about 1.5 years on top of caregiving for my 2 girls. And during that time, it was very hard. Shout out to all caregivers, all mothers, all caregivers. It is such a job. And on top of all the emotions of realizing that your sister is not the person that she used to be her entire life, and still trying to grasp the concept of her disabilities and her disease and her limitations, as well as raising 2 children, as well as raising a baby. It exhausts you. There's no words. But I know I was talking to my husband, and I told him that I was just so tired, and that I wanted a blow dry, I wanted a facial, I wanted a massage, I wanted something to make me feel better. Obviously these are all external things, but I was just really going through it. And I know how to do all those things. I know how to do a facial, I know how to do a blow dry, but I didn't want to do all those things. I wanted someone to do it for me. I just wanted to feel better, you know? And I thought, well, if I wanted that, I'm sure so many other people want that. They just want to feel better. And I knew I didn't have all the time in the world. I knew it had to be a one-stop shop. So that's, I believe, when the seed started planting, that, you know, I could do something like this for the people who are in the trenches, who can't find the time for themselves, who desperately need time for themselves. I believe that's when this seed was really planted. And then another seed that was planted was on top of all of those things, I also started my Instagram page, Medusa Holistic. And in the beginning, it was a page to share my spirituality, to share tarot readings. I had just begun doing tarot readings for other people, and also to share like beauty products I would make, from herbal remedies, DIY body scrubs, bath rituals. It was just a space to share my spirituality and share what I love. And so doing that, I wanted to be part of the community, and I would take myself to events, like whether they were vendor markets or what have you, just to kind of meet people in the community and get myself out there. And one of the women that I had met one time at a vendor event, she is a licensed massage therapist, and I really connected with her. And she's very spiritual. She's a shamanic healer. She's trained in the Mexica ways, and she's just very knowledgeable. She has this amazing ancestral wisdom, and we connected right away the first time I met her. And I went to see her for a session, and it was life-changing and magical. And later down the road, she asked me if I did facials, because I told her that I used to do massages and I used to do facials, and that I'm licensed as well, not in massage, but in facials. And she said that if I did mobile facials. And at the time I didn't, but I said, I can come to you. You have your bed, I'll bring my stuff. So she was my very first holistic facial client, and it was a beautiful experience. And I'm forever grateful for her for believing in me and pushing me and getting me to buy the little things that I needed to be able to perform a mobile facial service. And then ever since then, that drive has just been inside of me. And on top of everything else, you know, we're just living life, caregiving, moving forward. And eventually the opportunity presented itself. My best friend, she was looking for a new space for her private practice, and we were talking, and one thing led to another, and I found this beautiful space. We found this beautiful space. My room is here, her room is next door, and there's a waiting room in the front. And I think honestly, it's the perfect place for both of us. It's centrally located. I have my own space. I have a waiting area where we drink tea, and it's so magical, this space. I'm so blessed and thankful and grateful for every single one of these people that have been on my path and just supporting me through this entire journey. And basically everything that I've learned from my tarot, numerology, astrology, meditation, my holistic facial training, I've taken other classes as well. I've taken face mapping, TCM face mapping, I'm taking reflexology courses, and everything that I've learned on this journey, my grief journey that I've been on, my caregiving journey, just being an empathetic person and really being able to feel people and hear people even when they don't say everything. I combine all of those elements into your facial, into your treatment, so each one is completely unique to you. And I think that's what sets my facials apart. And we'll start with oracle cards in the beginning. My skincare products are really herbal focused. I always strive to look for lines that I believe will nourish your skin. They're gentle, they're for everyone, they're plant-based, plant-rich. Those are the lines I use here. And on top of just like the magic that this room holds, the magic that I hold, the magic that you hold inside of you, the 60 to 90 minutes, whatever session you book, it's truly magical and it does transform you. And I believe having that time for yourself is important because, again, it's very limited. And I think it's pivotal that the moment that you take for yourself really truly matters and is profound. And that's why I love what I do. So that's my journey. I condensed it highly for this video, but basically it's a journey of love, it's a journey of grief, it's a journey of finding myself, and then honoring your spirit as well. But thank you for listening. I am looking forward to sharing more of my story. If you have any comments, I would love for you to comment and let me know if these are the type of facials that you might be into, or if you have any questions. But until the next one, bye.